Hello from Al Jazeera here in Doha. I'm Kamal Santamaria with some of the headlines. Israel's Prime Minister has been trying to repair strained relations with Washington. Benjamin Netanyahu said he regretted the announcement of new settlements on occupied land during a visit by the US Vice President. Shireen Tadros has more from Jerusalem.
This incident reveals a fundamental difference of opinion between Israel and the US over the status of Jerusalem. For the US and indeed for the rest of the international community, East Jerusalem is occupied territory, and in a final negotiation and a final settlement, it will be given back to the Palestinians and form part, or the capital in fact, of a Palestinian state. For Israel, East Jerusalem is part of their undivided capital, so they can build as they choose.
Rallies being held over in the Gaza Strip to mark 1,000 days of living under an Israeli siege. The blockade was imposed when Hamas took over in 2007. Israel placed heavy restrictions on the import of fuel, medicine and other essential supplies. Red shirt protesters in Thailand have given the government until noon on Monday to step down. Tens of thousands of people converged on the capital, Bangkok. Wayne Hay has more.
If the demands of the so-called red shirts are not met, they say they'll paralyse Bangkok. They'll move on to other important locations in the city, including a military base where the Prime Minister is holed up with other key members of his government in a makeshift security command centre.
And the Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao has been holding his annual news conference in Beijing. Melissa Chan was there for us.
Enter populist leader Wen Jiabao. After closing this session of the National People's Congress, it's his annual press conference, the one time of the year he speaks to a room full of journalists. He spent most of the time talking about the economy.
This year is going to be the most complicated year for the Chinese economy because we still face a lot of uncertainties. The fundamental problems of the global financial crisis have not been addressed.
Most of the questions asked this morning have been about the economy. That's very much like last year and shows what the main concern is among both domestic and overseas journalists.
And there's more on those stories and plenty more online at aljazeera.net/English.